Hello friends, I am Dilip Singh. Welcome to the 14th CSS lecture of the tutorial series for web programming. Today we'll see the CSS box model. So what is basically the box model is, CSS box model is, every HTML element in web page are represented by a rectangular box, right? So this is a box, rectangular box. In CSS, each of these rectangular boxes are described using the standard box model that is called CSS box model. This model describes the content of the space taken by an element, right? So this is what a CSS box model is, and we'll see one by one what are these exactly. Rectangles, right? You can see here that this inner rectangle, then the rectangle of that, this dashed line, then solid line rectangle, then the dotted line rectangle, right? So we'll see what exactly these things are. Basically each box has 4 edges: margin edge, border edge, padding edge, and content edge. So this edge is a content edge, right? So within that box, surrounded by the content edge, whatever will be there, that will be the content of element, right? That basically appear in front of the web users. This is the content. Here will be the content of element. Okay, so basically we can say the content is the area containing the real content of the element, right? It has basically the background, color, image, right? The content can be HTML content, can be any HTML content. That could be a heading H1 to H6 contents, paragraph contents, image contents, whatever, right? So this is where the actual content will be, right, in the content area. After that content area, this box of dashed line here is a padding box, basically we can say this is a padding line. Okay, and after the padding there is a border line, the border that basically we want to make, to set in our HTML element. So this exactly the border line is. And just above the border line there is a margin line. This dotted line is a margin line. Okay, so the margin so if clearly we can see here, this is the actual content of an element, this is the border, and in between the content and the border there is a padding. So basically we can use that padding attribute of a CSS in order to put the space between the actual content and the border of that element, right? And similarly, the margin basically used to separate this block, this content, from the other block or the other things out of this block, right? So it's provide the space between this block and the another block or another element or another things within the web. Okay, so margin is on the outside of a block element while padding is on the inside, right? Okay, so we'll see when we learn um, the CSS border property, CSS padding property, CSS margin property, then this box model will be very useful in order to apply these property into the element, right? In this CSS box model, we can again divide the each box into 4 separate regions. For example, the padding, so there will be the top padding, so this line is a top padding. There will be a left padding, so this area basically from here, this dashed line to this edge, basically this is the dashed edge. Oh, there is a mistake, this is not left, this is a right padding. Okay, so this is a right padding and this is the left padding. Left padding can be used to increase or decrease the space between this content of an element, this edge, content edge, to the border edge, right? So left padding, right? Similarly, bottom padding. And in case of border, so the border also divided into 4 regions: the top border, the right border, the bottom border, and the left border. And similarly, the margin is divided into the top margin, right margin, bottom margin, and the left margin. Okay, so in next CSS lectures, we'll see one by one border property, then padding and margin properties, how we can use in order to set margin, border, or padding of an element. So this box model is very important to understand the real working scenario of all these 3 things, mainly the border, padding, and margin properties of CSS. Okay, so this is all for this lecture, guys, and we'll see you in next lectures where we will see all these properties, margin, border, padding, one by one. And that's all. So friends, after watching this video, if you feel that it was really helpful to understand the concept, then please like and subscribe the video. Thank you, guys.